Alrighty, let's get started. So I'll go off and introduce myself. My name is Cosme Don Diego. I am the client specialist for Digital Nest, consultant agency, BizNest. I'm very happy to introduce Leslie Matarang at Digital Nest, a Digital Nest and business alum, to share our next panel with you all. Leslie, a little bit about Leslie, is a passionate advocate for creating a positive impact and understanding communities by improving their quality of life through a safer, cleaner, and healthier environment. Raised in Earl Mard, a small rural town in Central Valley, Leslie is a second generation immigrant driven by a mission to make her hometown environmentally sustainable community. With her entrepreneurial um, sus- mindset, Leslie is focused on building a resource center for her hometown to provide opportunities and access for a better life for all. Her passion for creating her a, her passion for creating a positive impact combined with her expertise makes Leslie a young visionary with a bright future ahead. We're excited to have her leading this panel today. Alrighty, Leslie, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you so much. And hello, everyone. We have 28 people, 20, I guess, altogether. But I'm so glad to be here. I'm so honored to be here. And I'm excited for all of us to learn about these three inspiring and knowledgeable women with us today. So I'd like to go around and have our panelists introduce themselves. Betsy, do you want to go first?
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Betsabeth Valdez, but I go by Betsy, and I am an agronomist for Driscoll's, which is one of the world's largest berry growers.
I'll go next, Leslie. All right, so Alexandra Navarro, I am Colombian, 100% Colombian. I've been living in the state for the last 22 years, but my accent remains the same. And I am the chief of staff at Paystan. Paystan is a B2B network payment based on blockchain. And you asked for my favorite dessert, and I was thinking about that because I'm craving of tiramisu and tres leches. Me encanta. And I'll pass it to you, Fabiola.
Well, first I want to say thank you for inviting me. I'm super happy to be here today. I wish we had had this sort of forum when it was early on in my career, so I really see the value. So my name is Fabi Ferguson, and I live in sunny San Diego. I am a director of service business operations with Sienna. I've been with Sienna for over 21 years. I started when I was a mere child. And I'd say my favorite dessert is probably arroz con leche.
Oh, yes.
Yum.
Thank you so much. And it's so great to have like such a diverse crowd of women who come from different backgrounds, like different desserts. So now it'd be so great to learn how you guys turned your passion into your career. So can you tell me, each of you, how did you identify your passion, and what steps did you take to pursue it professionally? Betsy, if you'd like to go first.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am from a small town in Monterey County. It's Gonzales. And as for those of you that are familiar with the area, there is a lot of agriculture. And so I started working in the fields as a 15-year-old. No one sent me, no one pushed me to do it. I just wanted to see exactly, the hard work that our people put into to grow what we now have on our tables. So I worked in the field since I was 15, and I was able to learn the different stories of the individuals that work these fields and, where they came from, their purpose and all. And I wanted to do something with my life to give back to my community, to give back to those people and to give back to the growers. So I created a passion for agriculture. And I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do in agriculture. I just knew I wanted to help. And so what I did is I continued to expose myself to the industry. I worked every summer, and when it came to going to college, I studied plant sciences. And I try to expose myself as much as possible to the industry, whether it's the most minimal job work like labor work, or whether it's collecting a ton of data for a professor. I remained myself within the industry. And then I found out that I wanted to be an agronomist. I wanted to be a well-rounded person, being able to build knowledge and experience in all categories within agriculture that can help the growers excel, exceed, become innovative in these new practices that are coming in currently as the agriculture progresses. So that's kind of how I became passionate. It was the area I work in, the people I got to work with, the community itself, and of course, just wanting to give back to the world and help feed the world in some way or form.
That was beautiful. Oh, I can totally resonate with that. I come from a small rural town with ag, and I was also did a summer work in the field, so I know how that feels. Let's mix it up a little bit. Fabi, can you tell me how you identified your passion and what steps you took to pursue it?
Sure. First of all, I'll say, Betsy, that was super inspiring. So thank you for sharing that. So for me, I don't know, getting a BA was always something was just expected. So I didn't really know what I wanted to study when I went to college. I ended up getting a degree in anthropology from UCSD. I guess I'm a little bit of a busybody. So I didn't know at the time how much that knowledge would really help me throughout my career. It's really learning about different cultures, what makes different people tick. You know, even within my own organization, it kind of provides a different lens and a different perspective. And, you know, it's kind of interesting to see what different people are motivated by. So that whole anthropological study actually did come in to help me at the end of the day. I also realized early on that, you know, I'm really good at organizing and kind of running projects. Good with interacting with others and am able to kind of influence others. So I think that's kind of really looking inward and seeing what were my strengths. At that point, I really thought, you know, getting my PMP would be helpful in my career. So in fact, I you know, went to my boss. I'm like, hey, I'm interested in getting my PMP certification. So, and they were very supportive, and they paid for it all, for the training and the exam, which was the hardest thing I've ever taken. But, you know, ultimately, you know, getting my PMP did help elevate my career to the next level. So, you know, that's kind of where I landed. And that's right now what I do. I program manage for my company for large projects. So, and programs. So I love what I do. And again, it was really kind of building upon what I had and kind of growing to where I am now. And in case you're not familiar, PMP is a project management professional certification. So that's what that is. And you know, you grow and you learn different things. So that's how I ended up where I am right now. So that's about it for me.
Thank you, Fabi. Alexandra?
Well, this is really a difficult question after listening to Betsabel and Fabiola. So I have to tell you that I am naturally passionate about what I do when I connect to the mission of whatever I am doing. I just need to connect with that. But what I'm trying to say here is that it was very difficult for me to know what was my passion in life. I knew that I was good at preaching to people. I was great when I was in college doing things, executing things. I was okay academically, but I wasn't the most intelligent one. But I was always a researcher. I was looking for, you know, for the answers. I was accomplishing goals and knowing that I knew that I could accomplish anything that I wanted. So I was passionate about something that I wanted, then making sure that I had a goal and to execute. I was naturally good on that. But knowing what my passion was took me years, because I had to take many, many, many jobs that I hated for years, that I just had to do it because that was what I had, right? And then making sure that I could make my life on having experiences, and then coming to United States was, of course, being an immigrant. I am probably more like your parents. I am the immigrant, the person who came here, who had to, you know, do all the skills and everything. Sorry, I wasn't expecting this. But so what I would like to say, how I turned my passion into opportunities, is just I every single year ask to 10 different people what I am good at, from my family to my ex-workers to my supervisors to anybody. I said, what do you see that are my strengths, and what do you think that are my flaws? And I take the five first ones and I do like a common word or the common quality that they think that I have. And this is how I discover how to turn my passion into my career wherever I am. So everybody used to tell me, oh my God, you are super passionate. Oh my God, you know how to turn a vision into execution plan. And I start learning that it's true that that those are qualities of me, but especially I learned that I needed to align my mission with the mission of the work that I was at. And then my passion was there to turn any mission to make social change, to bridge people into something better, to unleash the power of people, to organize projects, etc., etc., etc. And now I work only on places where I see that my passion is there, that my mission is there, and that my skills can provide the next step for that job that I am doing.
Thank you, Alexandra. And I just wanted to drop this in here. I'm really honored that you were one of my most inspiring and supportive mentors in my career when I was at Business. And you just talking about, you know, aligning your mission with your passion, I just totally resonate with that. I think it's super important for us to really understand what our values are. So when we go into a workplace. And with that being said, I'm curious, Alexandra, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced when turning your passion into a career, and how did you overcome them?
Well, this is a great question, Lily, and it's true. We were working together for a couple of years, and you were an inspiration to me too. And I see here some of you are women. Probably you are learning about tech or not. But my biggest challenge was to be a woman, to be an engineer, and to be Latina. It was like everything was working against me. Like, put the combination and was the worst combination. It was a rare combination in my time. And instead of giving me uniqueness and making feel people, you know, like proud, oh my God, she's interesting, or what she does, it was always making me feel vulnerable and weird. And if on top of that, you add the fact that I am from Colombia, and Colombia, well, right now, at least people know that Colombia is Shakira, no? But in my time, Colombia was known for other stuff that I don't even want to mention. So I was the most weird combination of anybody, and I felt weird too many times, over skill or under skill. So everything was like really, you know, like weird. So what did I do to overcome that? I started working for myself, like working on myself, like seeing what were the stigmas, you know, like we all have stigmas. Oh, she's a woman. Oh, she's Mexican. Oh, she's blah, blah, blah. No more stigmas. I said to myself, I don't want to look into stigmas. I don't want to see any labels. I think that we are all the same. And I literally start talking to people, no matter which level they were, as human beings. So right now, if you see me talking to venture capitals or to presidents or to the person who is cleaning the office, I just talk to the human person, to the human, and that makes a huge challenge. The second thing is that I start becoming myself and feeling proud about who I am. And something that I recommend to everybody is, whenever you feel that you are self-punishing or being super harsh with yourself, oh, I'm so stupid doing that, oh, I don't know what I did that, is correct yourself and, you know, like say, thank you for doing your best. Thank you for helping me to mess it up and to understand the failure. Thank you for whatever, you know, like making sure that you love yourself, that you understand yourself, that you're compassionate with yourself is something that made a huge change. And the other thing that I did to start overcoming the challenges was to being more curious about other people instead of being judgmental. Like, oh my God, he's a president of the company, he's not gonna look at me, or he's doing this, you know. No, just, he's a human person, it has been having a hard day, I'm gonna try again. I don't take anything personal, I just don't. I just know, and I try and try and try and try and try again. And the last thing is that I make sure that my goals are clear. So I write down. So this is a recommendation for everybody. Write down, what do you want? How do you want to accomplish? And make a plan. If you want to be on an intern, if you want to become the best on anything you do, just write it down. That really works like magic. Those are the 4 things that I will say that help me to become myself, to work on my values, on my goals, being always the best version of myself and being compassionate with me, being courage with others, and confronting my fears. Everybody's the same. So that's me, Lily.
Thank you, Alexandra. And since we're talking about plans, Bobby, I'm really curious about your journey. I mean, you took a subject that's different from project management, and then you fell into taking the PMP exam. Like, how important was it for you to have a plan in place before you made the transition to a career based on your passion?
Yeah, so like I said, I've been with Siena for over 21 years, and I've had many different roles, right? It's been a whole evolution. So the project management role got me to become a director level, which is what I was aspiring to do. So I knew what the steps I needed to take for me to achieve my goal, right? And so back to Alexandra's point, you have to know what you want in order to develop a plan and figure out what the path is to get there. If you don't know where you want to go, then you can't really formulate that plan and visualize that path. So really step back and think about, what are your goals? You know, where do you want to aspire to? Visualize yourself there. I know it may sound cheesy, but you really do have to see and put yourself, think about how what do I want to be and how can I get there? What are the steps? Write it all out. It's a plan, right? It's like a recipe for a cake. You need to know what the ingredients are to be able to make it. So think about what your goals are, what your strengths are, and so that you can, in fact, formulate that plan. It's like a treasure map, right? You need to know where you want to go so you can figure out how to get there. So that would be my advice. Step back, look at your strengths, figure out where you want to go, and then figure out what the steps are to get there. If you don't have a goal, then you can't formulate a plan. So, that would be my suggestion to the group here.
Thank you, Fabi. And Betsy, you shared I'm going to say this terribly, agronomist. For those who don't know what that is, can you detail why this role is really important? And then can you also detail some of the key challenges you face in your role and how you overcome them?
Yeah, absolutely. So an agronomist is someone who specializes or is an expert in all categories in agriculture, whether it's pesticides, whether it's crop management, fertility, nutrition, plant physiology, pathology, the categories go on. So it's just being a well-rounded person who has knowledge and experience in all areas. And so with me, what's made my role quite challenging is, one, I am a woman in a very male-dominated industry. I am Latina, which is also there's a small population of us that are in those more advanced positions. And so for me, it's always having to prove myself. It's always trying to prove that, yes, I am knowledgeable. Yes, I have the experience. Yes, I have X years working within the industry, whether it's even doing like I mentioned earlier, the smallest thing, such as weeding or fertilizing some fields, whatever it may be. It's always doing the smallest thing and always having to constantly prove to them, prove to others that I can do what any man can do or any individual can do in the industry. And so the fact that I have to constantly prove myself, I've had to find ways of, okay, how can I prove myself without exhausting and overdoing my role? And this is something that I have learned and continue to speak highly of, is proving with data and science. And so I of course went to a 4-year university, and after I went to get a master's degree as well in plant sciences and microbial sciences. And still then that seemed to be insufficient to prove that I am capable of doing X, Y, and Z within the industry. And so I have to make sure that everything that I learned, I can apply. So if I give a recommendation to a grower and I'm telling that grower, hey, I think you need to cut down on fertility, or I think your plants are a little stressed, these are the protocols you should follow. And if that grower does not want to take my advice or my recommendation, I say, hey, here's the data. Here's the research to prove that the recommendation I'm giving you is accurate and can actually help you in solving this problem or situation. And so even though it's been a little challenging being a female, being a Latina in this male-dominant industry and having to constantly prove myself, I have to check myself and say, hey, you are knowledgeable, you are capable, and you are able to do anything regardless of your gender or ethnicity. And always know what you did with your education, with your experience, to have your place in life and have your place in your role. And no one can take that from you. So I guess the one piece of advice I can give to you all is try to stay within your industry. You know, take those job opportunities to gain that experience and that knowledge. So once you get to that career or that goal in life that you have for your career, you can say, I've gotten so far to be here and I deserve to be here. And yeah, that's what I have to say.
Thank you, Betsy. Oh my gosh, we're just getting so many positive affirmations. We have to write these down, guys, and put in our mirrors. So now that we got kind of a sense of all your guys' passions, visions, and challenges you had to overcome, you know, for me and probably everyone else here, we want to know the tools. Like, how did you market yourself? You have all these affirmations now about yourself, but how did you get where you're at? What has worked for you? What have you found that the skills you have mattered to employers, to clients, to XYZ people, you know? And I'll just, who can think of it first, just go ahead.
I'll start, Leslie. You did that question to me a few months ago before you getting married. Remember, Alex? How did you get? Where you were? Give me the specific things. Here are my three steps. Number one is you need to have LinkedIn. You have to have LinkedIn. So no matter what, put it there. Number two, check for people that you admire or that you want to become in your next step. So if your next step is to being a director or an analyst or whatever, like a personal coach, whatever, look for those 2-3 people that you want to become and check their career. This is your path over there. Check their skills. Where are they going? Who do they follow? What are they doing? And then be inspired to take the next step. So the plan is there. Your plan is there. And then the third thing that I'm gonna again emphasize is know your values. How do you know your values? Your values are known from the people that usually you admire. So very short answer is, who do you admire? I admire my dad. Why? Because he is a warrior, because he is love, and because he never quit to pay for the bills. Or you admire that. Those qualities, guess what? They are inside you. And when I ask myself or other people, do you think that I am a warrior? They are like, oh my gosh, you are a warrior. Do you think that I never quit? Oh yeah, you never quit whatever you have to say in your right. Do you think that I am love and that I am a good mom? Oh my God, you are the best mom. So just apply that today. Who do you admire? Write those qualities down and then ask someone else. Do you think that I am this, and that? And when you recognize your values, it's amazing how you go to an interview and you talk from those values. When you are in a meeting and you're talking from those values, you feel more confident. When you are looking for a job and you are looking for a job with those values, it's completely different. Second, don't forget, LinkedIn is the tool, definitely. And third, go and look for the people that you admire today and that you want to become, and check what they are doing. What are the skills? How are they writing? Where they are going to. Check them and be inspired by them. And with this, I pass it to you, Fabiola.
Okay, thank you. So, thinking about this, so I've always been good at kind of connecting with people and really trying to put myself out there. The way I look at it is really every meeting I have with my colleagues, like day in and day out, is really an opportunity to market myself. And that's really how you should look at it too. Yes, the social media definitely, but in your every like day-to-day interactions with your colleagues, you have to look at it like you're building relationships, right? You never know what role that position may be in the future. I'd say always put your best foot forward. Don't be shy. Every engagement with people is an opportunity to market yourself. Let them get to know you, and you make an effort to get to know them. Form those relationships, those bonds. We spend so much time with our colleagues, right? So really make it a point to get to know each other. It does help your career, right? It's who you know. They learn to trust you, that they can count on you, and people move up, and they take you with them, or vice versa. You form relationships, you move up, and you bring them along, right? So it's really a matter of forming those strong relationships with your colleagues, I think really come into play. And I've also really always made it a point to develop strong relationships with my managers along the way. I want to be noticed, right? I want them to know that they can trust me. So, just keep that in mind. It's not always, about where you want to go in terms of, I got to meet this person because I want to be like them. It's really your everyday today interactions with your colleagues. Just always make it a point to get to know them, and it'll also make work more enjoyable too. So that would be my advice. So with that, I will pass it over to Betsy.
That Alexandra and Fabi both had great points, and I will definitely re-emphasize on those. Confidence, like Alexandra said, is key. Always being confident on what you do, what you know, and being able to put yourself out there. And just going back to what Fabiola said, making those good connections, even though you are succeeding in your career and you're getting along with your coworkers, or you're very resourceful, you like to collaborate with others, the day that you decide to move forward with a different path in your career or a different company, those people will speak highly of you, and they'll say, yes, this person is a team leader. This person is very organized. This person works well with others, is social. So the people that you work with have a high impact, and a lot of the time we don't see it, but we then meet people through those people, and they become a great resource in making sure you also succeed in your career, and that is very important. But socializing is very, very important. I know at times it's hard, you're shy, you don't know when to speak up, you don't know who to reach out to. That's what LinkedIn is for. LinkedIn is it's a friendly Facebook for professionals. Is being able to send an email and say, hey, I know you work for this company. Do you know if they're hiring? Do you know if you can connect me to anyone? And those people, I'm sure, will be more than happy to be able to share something with you that can kind of start your path in your career. So I agree with the ladies, and that's kind of my piece of advice.
Thank you, ladies. It looks like we have about 10 minutes into this. Had so much more questions for you all, but I do want to open up to any questions from anyone here. And I could even ask my own questions. But yeah, if anyone wants to drop any questions, feel free. And while you're doing that, I'll just ask my one question. How did you guys, and this, anyone can answer this, but how did you know, like, you aligned your passion to your career? And how did you not, I'm just going to say it out loud, how did you not let money get in the way of that decision, right? So for me growing up, my parents always told me be a nurse because it has money, but I didn't want to be a nurse. But I did take the aspect of helping people, right? I think that's what nurses do. So how did you not have money and title and everything get away from going to your passion?
Can I say something about that first? I love that question because I was in the nonprofit world for 7 years or 8 years, and then I passed into the corporate fintech, which is all about money, and I work in a fintech, which is all about financials. So I had that like question even to myself. But I know what my mission is, and it's of course to unleash the power of to underrepresented communities and bring to them financial inclusion and social impact. And when I came to this company and I learned that this is a payment network for enterprises based on blockchain, blah, 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 I was like, oh, this is making someone rich. I don't care about that, no? But then I talked to the CEO, to Jeremy Almond, and I said, hey, what is your mission in life? He is my supervisor. I said, what is your mission in life? And he said, my mission in life is to reach fintech and financial inclusion to underrepresented people. And I was like, this is it. I mean, there is a connection. So I know, and yeah, I mean, the fintech world, the salaries are high, they are well paid, but there is also a lot of work. But it doesn't, I mean, I think that the corporate world needs to serve the nonprofit world and to create a better world. And this is my own belief. I don't know if someone else believes in that or not, but since I believe in that, I am working on my passion. And at the same time, and I am able to pay my bills. This is what I will say.
Thank you, Alexandra. Does Betsy or Fabi, do you want to add anything?
I mean, I always tell everyone, I know it sounds cheesy, but I love my job, and people hear that. And, you know, I've had friends whose daughters have graduated from college, and they're like, I always heard you say you love your job. So I want you to, you know, talk to my daughter or my son and tell them what you do and why you love your job. I guess a lot of people don't say that, but I truly mean it. I mean, I really love the people that I work with. I look forward to interacting with my colleagues. You know, don't get bored. You know, you have to like make your job fun. Try to learn new things, right? So it doesn't become monotonous. And that way you're learning new things. It feels more fulfilling. You're growing, right? The more you know, you never know what opportunities that'll lead to, right? So volunteer to do new things. It does get noticed, right? You may not think, oh, you know, I'm doing this extra thing, but you know, you shouldn't look at it like that. You should look at it as an opportunity to grow, to learn, to keep you from getting bored, to try new things. You end up loving it, right? So my advice is just try new things. Don't be scared to raise your hand and volunteer to try different, something different. And you never know where that can lead you. You know, a new role, promotion. Like I said, people do notice when you are always volunteering to try new things and to help out the team and in areas that may not be exactly in your lane. So for me, that really has helped me, keeping it fresh and really evolving. So that would be my advice. Back to you.
Okay. We have another question. How do you each define success for yourselves in your life? What does success look like for you?
I can go first. So I knew from the start I wanted to be an agronomist. And same as you, Leslie, my parents are like, why are you going to be an agronoma? There's no women in agriculture. And I was like, yeah, but I like it. I want to get dirty and I want to walk fields and I want to be outdoors. And honestly, even though so many times I was questioned about my career, you know, I kept staying in the same path, kept wanting to achieve that goal or that position. And to me, success was when I finally got the job that I dreamt of, and I loved everything about it. Everything about it. There's been days where I'm starting my morning at 6 a.m. outside with the growers, and I don't get home till like 6 p.m. and I am exhausted. I've been outside. I have a ton of emails to catch up with and trials to conduct. And at the end of the day, I'm like, oh my God, it was such a success. I got so much done. I helped so many growers. I feel happy. You know, you're happy. You love what you do, which is what Fabiola had mentioned. And that's quite success, that you can enjoy what you're doing. You're happy doing it every single day. You're motivated to continue to do it and finding ways to, even though you got to that position or you got that title, being able to continue to grow within that title and within that role.
Betsy. So yeah, that resonates. So for me, success is loving what I do, enjoying going to work, feeling that what I am doing is making a difference. It matters. It's improving either different processes in our organization, making it certain things easier for colleagues to do. It's improving our revenues. It's improving our margins. So, having these projects and being able to achieve our group goals and knowing that it is making a difference to our bottom line, whatever that bottom line is. So feeling that, what I've contributed made an impact for the positive from our organization. I find it motivating. And again, it keeps me wanting to go back and do more. So that is really what success is for me.
I will add something very quickly. I absolutely agree with the two of you. That is amazing. I just want to add that success is every day in your life, whatever you are living that day. That's so perfect for you, because success is not when you achieve something. Success is the way, is the road. And the road is long. Sometimes are good, sometimes are bad, like, in a roller coaster. So success is the path. Success is learning, is failing, is taking the next one day at a time and taking the next steps and being compassionate with yourself. So if you are in a job right now that you necessarily don't like, that is part of your success. It's not until you get the job of your life. That's not my case. Like, if you wait to feel successful until the day that you find the job of your life, you never know when this is going to happen. So every day is success for each one of you, for each one of us. Today is a successful day, which whatever it comes, because today I need to learn something. Today I need to don't quit something. Today I need to cheer me up on something. So this is how I will measure success in my life. Back to you, Leslie.
Thank you, Alexandra. That was beautiful. Yes. I just realized we never mentioned failures. We go through failures, and I think I'm one of them that can say that I'm a little hard on myself and my failures, especially, and I'm going to point this out, when we compare ourselves to others and we see other people's paths and we're like, why don't we have this? And why don't we that? And why am I not there? Et cetera, et cetera. Or, and I really like what you said, Alexandra, of like, your failures are your successes too. And all of that is a success. We do have a minute left. Does anyone else have questions? If not, if anyone wants to mute themselves. Oh, I think there's please head back. Okay. Well, thank you, Betsy, Alexandra, and Fabiola. Like we said, if you guys want to connect with us, we are here. Oh, thank you, Yvonne. And it was such a pleasure to learn more about what you guys do. And because Betsy and Alexandra, you're nearby. Sorry, Fabi, you're in San Diego. Maybe we could do a FaceTime call. I love to connect with you both. You guys are so inspiring. Thank you for everyone who came here today.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. And I hope everybody to connect with my LinkedIn. I am there and I am here. We are all here to support you, mentor you, cheer you up. This is what we are here. So please connect. Don't be shy. And don't think that there are stupid questions. No. We are all to support you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.